On tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now Rosen on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. Then he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Noah Spence in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting? Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. The numbers for Austin a week ago. 17 carries, 83 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football and led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt.
Here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
And they'll run it here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd down, that's Austin. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Let's go, 14.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Rosen, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Rosen looking at a 3rd and 2. And able to find Kirk complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now it's Rosen, and completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
On third down, Rosen throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On first down, Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dayon Buchanan leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Play action. It's Wilson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a handoff looking right. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd and 4.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Got it. 14.
Now Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the 2nd quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. He struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That one, 28 yards on the ground.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Set! 3-19!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So we've come up, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
14, run it.
Wilson going to throw again. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Now Wilson on second down. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Tempo.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now Wilson, operating from the gun. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On second down, Rosen. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19!
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. He gets it to Brown, complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3-and-out. This quarterback now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Go, go, go!
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rosen. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Rosen will throw. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all. And actually,
and my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now they try the right side here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. And on the ground they go with a running back. Skirts by him at the 35. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a handoff looking right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Play was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Well, the Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. And he connects with Ebron. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need... to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Set. 3-19.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. 10 more there and another first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now Rosen on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go now. Blue, 90.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch every...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run again with Adams. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 2nd down, Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Tackle made by the quarterback, Chris Campbell. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Seahawks, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for Arizona, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10.